Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is Love and Marriage DC. Love and Marriage DC episode 4 happened this past weekend. It continued from last week, where Winter and Ashley and Erana was having lunch, Arena was saying that she didn't think that Ashley came off aggressive to Winter, and she told Winter, and Winter said no to her. She came off aggressive, and so Ashley jumped up and said she was just so tired of Winter talking about Kevin, and then so and then so and then so that's when what you call kind of interjected Tasha and said she thought that Ashley was being a little bit too aggressive too. And then Raina say, well, can we just say not to talk about Kevin anymore, or talk about Kevin anymore? And then Winter said, yeah, I'll be glad not to talk about Kevin anymore. She said, but I was just explaining how the relationship was, because Chris asked the question. And so and so Winter said that's why I was trying to that's why I wanted to bring y'all to this lunch. I was trying to get to know y'all separately and individually, to see if I really wanted to be friends with y'all and stuff like that. She said, but the way you came off, and then so Arena jumped in and said, well, we all went over this. Can we just say that this is a mood point with this stuff with Kevin and all this kind of stuff? And she said, yeah. And then Tasha chimed in again and said, yeah, we're all the friends of Monique, and we want to be friends and work out. We want to be friends and work out everything, because all of us are friends of Monique. And then it switched to the next scene. Where Ashley went to the DLR radio show, where Quick and his partner, have like a little studio, and like I said, a little studio but behind the main studio. And so she was asking him about Quick's schedule, and she was saying, I know it's a big event coming up in Baltimore, and Quick wants to go to that because he wants to represent his hometown and the school that he came from. And she said, is there any way that his schedule can be cleared so me and him can have some stuff? And then the guy say, well, now he said he really want to do this and stuff, so he don't want to cancel this, but it's some other stuff that I think. She said, well, you can't pencil us in. You can't pencil us in to have no time. And he said, well, I'm gonna try to pencil you in, but I'm gonna try to talk to what you call with it. And she said, well, my concern is that when he gets overworked and stuff, like he had that car accident, and we talked about that with that car accident, and he claims that he won't do that again. But how would I know that? And then while they was in the middle of talking, Quick gonna come in, and then he gonna say in this confessional, ooh, my wife here, what is it? They trying to ambush me or something. And he said, nah, your wife was just concerned about your schedule, and she wanted to know, was there any way that you could change some of these dates or what you call? And then she said, look, confessional, he can still do a whole lot for the community and people. If he dumb his schedule down to either 10, maybe 5 or 6 events, that would be enough. He said, nah, man, I really got to go to this HBC one in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, I know you really want to go to that one. You want to do all this one. She said, but Quick, if you do that and you do this, you won't have no time for me. He said, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell. That's what Sean was telling Quick. That's what I was trying to tell Ashley, and she want me to pencil her in some kind of way. He said, well, then after this event we go. She said, now you got this other event going on, and you might be overworked. She said, because every time you come back from event, all you do is go to sleep, and you go to sleep, and you go back to sleep, and then you go to work, and then you have no time for me. And then so he said, well, after these events, this time next year we're gonna do do nothing but vacations. And she said, but you know, you might have another accident. He said, oh no, I ain't gonna have another accident. She said, well, how do I know that quick? How do I know that quick? And then quick didn't say too much and nothing. And then it switched to the next scene, and the next scene was winter and Arena meeting up by themselves. Arena invited Winter to meet up with her for a separate dinner, and so they got to doing the little present their little pleasantries where they greeted each other and they said how good each other looked. Arena complimented Winter. On a long black skirt and her jacket and stuff like that. She said she looked real good, and then she told Lorena she looked good in that white suit and stuff. And so they got to sit down. They ordered some drinks, and the next thing you know, Arena asked the winner, "What do you think about the dinner? Did you think that you accomplished anything, anything at the little lunch dinner that we had? You think everything is cool with you and with you and Ashley now?" And then a winner said in her confessional and gave her a sign. She said, "If you're trying to get to know me for yourself without Ashley, why are you bringing up Ashley?" And she said, "Well, I'll put it like this. I'll put it like this. We are getting to know each other." And she said, okay, that's good, that's good. She said, that's why I want to have a private lunch with you too, because I wanted to get to know you outside the other girls too." And she said, "Yeah, that's right," and stuff like that. And so and so Winter said, Arena, you talked about at the dinner party at Monique's dinner party that you did some stuff in your marriage, and you did some stuff in your marriage, and also Jamie, and I wanted to find out a little bit more about that. And she said, well, what is Jamie caught me DMing somebody. It wasn't really nothing like I had a affair or anything. I was just DM a certain guy and stuff, and I was liking his pictures and stuff, and what you call like that." And she said, "That's why I was saying, even though we was married 26 years, both of us did a little bit of something, because I would call Jamie when he would, because he got a lot of nightclub events, and when the events were over with, I would call Jamie, and he would tell me that he's still working. He would tell me that he's on his way home, and then I would ask him why he didn't answer his phone. He would say he left his phone somewhere, and then and that. So because I didn't actually see nothing with my own eyes, I can't. That's why I was telling y'all that didn't put. I can't say that Jamie really cheated, and her child Winter was giving her a side eye and stuff like that. And she was saying, well, in my situation, in my situation, I was 40 years old, and I had this, and I had this 60-year-old man who was a scammer. And she said, yeah, that's why I want to let people know that it wasn't me, it was him. And she was saying, yeah, that's why we were saying what we said. That's why we were saying what we said at the table. And then now I kind of get a little bit more understanding about you and your situation. When I said, yeah, that's what I want to do. And when I said, one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, you're probably gonna be surprised. She said, what? I'm a 40-year-old woman, but I'm abstinent and I look good and I do this and I'm just taking my time with dating. And she said, okay. And she said, well, you know what? Since she was talking about y'all sex life is lagging, I got a coworker that's a sex therapist, and I'm gonna give you her number, and you and Jamie can go to her. And Raina said, oh, okay. And then it switched to the next. Ooh, let me get some water. The next scene was Monique showing some of her shirt go right. Monique showing some of her scenes of their trip to Africa and stuff like that. They showed them riding, going to the zoo. They showed a lot of animals. And they showed them. I guess going back to their Airbnb apartment or whatever, having some lunch and stuff like that. So that was kind of cute little scene. And then after that, it switched to Arena in Jamie's house, and Jayson was in his room. Jayson was in his room, and he was just sitting up in his room, and his grandma came in, and she asked him to help her fix her watch. And she said, okay. He said, okay, he's gonna help her fix her watch. And then Erana walked in the room, and she said, Jayson, I want to talk to you. And he said, well, I'm helping Granny fix her watch. And she said, you could do that later. And then his grandma said, yeah, I can work with you later. And she said, Jayson, how you doing? How you feeling? And he said, well, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling good. She said, another thing I want to talk to you about was the Doors program. She said the Doors program is a rehabilitation program for people who have disabilities, and stuff like that. And she was saying, well, we was going to get you into school, but they said they need one more paperwork. I said, and she said, but I already put the paperwork in. And so she said, you know, your dad wants you to do the DJ stuff, to go to quick school. Do you still want to do the DJ stuff? He said, no, I'm not really interested in the DJ stuff, Mom. That's for Dad. I feel like Dad is pressuring me to do that. She said, well, if you feel that way, talk to your dad about it. And he said, now, now if I talk to my dad about it, he said if I talk to my dad about it, my dad's not gonna listen to me. He just gonna keep on telling me to do it, and I don't want to do that. She said, what do you want to do? He said, I want to go to school. I want to get educated, and I want to work for Apple. And she said, that's what you want to do? He said, yeah, that's what I want to do. She said, well, you need to tell your father. He said, no, I want you to tell my father. She said, no, Jamie, I want you to tell your father. And then she said, it's difficult, it's hard raising a child with disabilities, because he's 21 years old. He wants to do his own thing now, and Jamie is treating him like he's a little bitty boy, like he was when he was a little bitty boy. And so the scene switched to where Raina was showing was asking Jayson to go get his clothes out of the laundry. They went to that, and then and then after that scene, let me pause it one more time. And the next scene is where Arena was making a crab ball, and she was inviting all the family members together, so her and Jamie so her and Jayson could talk to Jamie about the situation of him being a DJ. And so she invited, and then her mama was teaching her how to cut the onions, because she talking about when her mom was cooking back in the day, she playing with her Barbie dolls. I have to co-sign with that. When my mom used to try to show me to cook, I didn't really like washing dishes, but I rather to wash the dishes than to cook. So I'm in agreement with Arena on that. And anyway, Arena's daughter came in. Her name was Brittany. She said that Brittany was from a prior relationship before she met Jamie, and so they all got to sitting down talking, and then Big Jamie told Irene, he said, you cooked? I'm surprised that you cook. You normally don't cook. She said, but I just wanted to cook something. I just wanted to make a crab ball. And she was getting about a crab ball and stuff. And she said, yeah, I just brought everybody together so we can kind of talk, because we haven't had no family time. And then Jamie said something else, and Irene said, I'm trying to talk. So she got quiet, and she said, yeah, I got to. She said, I got something. She said, I got something to tell y'all. She said, I told Jamie. Not Jamie. I told Jayson about what was going on with the program, the Doors program. I told him we need to add some. We had to fill out some more paperwork. And Big Jamie said, more paperwork? I thought you had everything. She said, well, it's gonna go through this time. And Jayson is really excited about it. He said, yeah. And she said, well, Jamie, Jayson got something to tell you. And Jayson looked kind of funny. And she said, go ahead on, Jayson, tell him. And Jayson said, well, I really don't want to be no DJ. I don't want to be no DJ. And Quick said, what? You don't want to be, I mean, not Quick, Jamie said, what? You don't want to be no DJ. Why you don't want to be no DJ? I got a friend that can hook you up with the DJ school. And Jayson said, no, I don't want to do a DJ. I want to go to school and get my education. I want to work for Apple. He said, when I asked you that a couple of weeks ago, you didn't say nothing about working for no Apple. He said, but you kept on forcing me and forcing me. He said, I'm not trying to force you. I'm not trying to force you. What you going to do right now to get ready to get in school? What you going to do right now? I got something for you to do right now. He said, well, I guess I could just wait till I get ready to go to school and get my education. He said, that's all you want to do. That's all you want to do. And then so he said, well, I'll get me a girlfriend. And then little Jamie say, you can't get no girlfriend without no money. You ain't got no money. He said, I ain't got no money right now either, Jayson. And I ain't got no, what you call daughter chimed in, Arena's daughter, and say, I wish I would have had this. I wish I would have had this conversation with me. She said because when I was a teenager growing up, I did everything I did everything y'all wanted me to do. I didn't focus on what I wanted to do and stuff like that. She said, I wish y'all would have had this conversation with me. She said, because if Jayson don't wanna be a DJ, y'all shouldn't make him be a DJ. And she said, yeah, that's why I wanted him to tell Big Jamie and stuff. And Jamie said, well, since he think I'm forcing him, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm out of it. I'm just gonna. And he talking about he wanted his son to have better situations than he have. Jamie do not know anything about working with people with disabilities and stuff like that. I mean, you're not supposed to pamper them and baby them, but you are supposed to treat them with respect and responsibility. And if they don't want to do something, then you can't make them do something. That's the main thing they tell anybody that's dealing with kids with disabilities, working with kids with disabilities, whether you're a social worker or a therapist or whatever. You always have to handle those people with kid gloves and seem like Jamie is trying to see, like Jamie was trying to force that man like he was, like he was a regular normal person. And like he said, he could do stuff. He just had to do stuff a little differently. And that's the way it is with people with disabilities. Whether you have a physical disability or a mental disability, you could do stuff, but it has to be done in a certain way. And so that's why I agree. That's why I agree with Erana. Like she said, it's still some stuff that she have to do, even though he's a grown man, 21. It's still some stuff that she has to help him do. And so after that, the scene switched to the date night with Jamie, Erana, and Ashley and Quick. And so Ashley and Quick got there first, and then Jamie and Erana got there, and then Jamie brought up to Quick. He said, "Quick, I got some news for you." He said, "What is?" He said, "Jayson say he don't want to be a DJ." He said, "Yeah, I kind of figured that when I talked to him at the gym, but I wanted to make sure." He said, "Well, I thought he wanted to be there." And then in his confessional, Quick say, "Yeah, that parents shouldn't try to make their children. They shouldn't live vicariously through their children. They should let their children do what they want to do." And then so Jamie was giving Erana the side eye because Erana told Ashley that she had lunch with Winter, and Winter gave her a number to a sex therapist and stuff like that. And Quick said, "What? Y'all ain't having stuff like that. I thought y'all was doing something in the commissioner." He kept talking about the boom, boom, boom. And then Ashley said, "You about to knock me off this couch." And then Jamie said, "Well, it's some certain personal stuff. I don't think Erana should be talking about to other outside people." And Erana said, "I saw from the side of my eye that I could tell that Jamie didn't want me to say that." And Jamie said, "Well, I think we really don't need no sex therapist." She said, "Well," and then Ashley said, "What does a sex therapist do?" She said, "Well, a sex therapist tells us, give us different clues and different things, and sometimes it might help." And then it went to the last scene where Chris and Monique came back, and Monique was asking Chris, did he get some kind of epiphany from the thing? And he said they were so busy, sightseeing and traveling that he didn't get a thing. And she was thinking that Chris is not going to do the work. And Chris say, people spiritual journeys are different and different than other people's spiritual journey. And then she got mad at him because he said he didn't get no epiphany or nothing. And then she said, he said, what about your mom? And so she didn't talk about nothing. And then Chris just said, "Well, just cut the cameras. I'm not gonna do it." Monique needs to stop being so mean lean toward Chris because if she would have had another husband, he wouldn't even want to film. At least he's trying to film because you could tell Chris really don't want to do it. He's just doing that to pacify Monique. She needs to be a little bit more lenient on Chris. This is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a T.I. is. I am out.